Hi everyone, I thought I shoot this very short video and share with you guys some of the data with regards to my thoughts on the recent round of cooling measures, right? Why the government is doing this, right? And what are the likely impacts I expect from this particular cooling measures. Okay, so breaking down the changes, all right, there's no change in Singaporean first property, so there's no impact there. Singaporean second property going up 3% from 17 to 20. Okay, I won't go through every single one, but the significant increase you see would actually be targeted at the foreigners lah. This is doubling from 30 to 60 percent, entities going up from 35 to 65 percent, trustees 35 to 65 percent, trustees going from little to none to 35 and then to 65. Okay, one thing interesting to note is developer ABSD did not go up. So one way I like to take a look at ABSD on the developer side, right? This is a supply side cooling measure if they do adjust anything with regards to the developers. Cooling measures for or ABSD for purchasers are demand side cooling measures. Okay, so now what are some of the reasons why I think that the government is doing this? The main reason, okay, it's the upcoming launch for the Fuji Xerox, the new Fuji Xerox building by CDL. Okay, because normally for District 1 developments, they attract a lot of foreigners. I'm taking example of the last District 1 launch, one of the last popular District 1 launch, Marina 1 residences. You do notice 1/3 is actually foreigner. Okay, 15% PR. Okay, so the expected launch price for the Fuji Xerox building, it being freehold, we in the market we're expecting it to come up to 3,008 to 4,000 PSF. So now imagine this, the government is probably thinking along these lines. The foreigners are going to snap it up because freehold in the CBD is very, very rare. Okay, and if the headline news is going to come up to be foreigners snapping up 50% of the development, right? A new port 4,000 PSF, 50% sold day one. That is going to drive a lot of FOMO into the market, right? So again, demand side cooling measure when government adjusts ABSD, because why you need to remember on the supply side to things, a lot of new launches coming up into the market, pushing benchmark prices up. That one the government cannot help, okay, because the land has been sold, the developers will launch it, and then you do notice, right, Tembusu Grand, a lot of the recent launches, the take up rate is quite decent, 50%. Okay, the next question a lot of people will ask me, right, but before I come to that, right, one of the other reasons why I thought the government put in this cooling measure, you see this recent news over at Nassim Park Residences, right? This guy is a foreigner, I think West African. He's paying 4,785 PSF. So foreigners are coming in, pushing top end, right, top tier real estate close to 5,000 PSF. And if we continue seeing this, right, it will have a trickle down effect on the market sentiments. They are seeing like, wow, they keep seeing 4,000, close to 5,000 PSF. Sentiments will then move upwards also lah. So this is probably one of the, not a specific reason, but one of the reasons why the government probably is seeing an increase in increasing data like this. Okay, moving on to what would the likely impact be. Okay, I don't see this having a significant impact in the OCR and RCR. Okay, the CCR launches may see a slightly reduced take-up rate as the consumers start to need to sort of wrap their heads around this, especially the foreigners wrap their heads around all these 60% ABSD. Even local buyers moving in or thinking about buying those CCR projects, because they are likely exit when people buy CCR, especially District 1, District 2 projects, right? They may be, their exit strategy may be trying to exit over to foreigners, right? High net worth foreigners, and if that exit is now being sort of closed off or make very blurry, they may then hold back. Okay, so CCR new launches, those that are going to 3,000 plus 4,000 PSF, those I feel may slow down, especially in the take up rate. But in the OCR and RCR, I don't see much of an impact. The reason being, if we take a look at Tembusu Grand over here, the data they have shared, 50% sold, out of which 90% Singaporeans, only 10% are PR and foreigners. PR, if you look at the cooling measures, not very much impacted on them, especially if they are buying their first property. No impact on them. Second, 5% increase, but not a lot of PR second property buyers. Most of them, when they look at the data, they say PR buy is usually the first property. Okay, number one, right? Upcoming launches, existing launches, I don't see a material impact because, again, bulk of it is Singaporeans. The main cooling measure is trying to target foreigners. And if we look at the MAS financial stability review, you do also see that actually foreigners company, the two segments that the government is really trying to target, they form very low percentage, less than 10% of the total transaction volumes lah. So impacting these folks, I don't see the market as a whole being impacted significantly. Again, this is a demand side cooling measure, and with demand side cooling measures is a lot of the times is trying to halt. So I've always said, right, cooling measures, you want to see whether it is demand elimination or demand pause, right? I see this as a demand pause, not demand elimination. Even with 60%, I will put my head out there to say foreigners will still come in and buy. They will just factor this in as part of their cost, right? It will not mean we will not see foreigners totally disappearing from the Singapore real estate market, right? They will come back. They will just have to stomach this and realize it, right? That on the rest of it, the rest of the demand, not much impact as we can see from the changes over here. Thank you very much.